So what we're gonna do tonight, and then I'm gonna go live tomorrow night when I get home from work, and we're gonna kind of just go through the process. So on my Flashback Friday last week, I did how to do a raised stencil, and I used joint compound, but I used a different kind of joint compound, the kind that was already mixed, and I will show you how I do that in another video. This is an experiment for me, so we're going to see if this works the way I think it will. And I just actually, I'm going to grab another container. We're going to dump a little bit of this out of this one. This is just the powder joint compound in powder form. I actually got this idea from Katie Clemente. One of her classes, she used the regular pre-mixed joint compound and she mixed paint into it. So, hang on. So, I'm just gonna put, yeah, about that much. I'm gonna put some in here. But, and it got, I mean, it did what she wanted it to do, but for what I want to do, it was a little bit soupy. And, but she had some really bold color too. So we're just gonna start with a little bit in each container, just like that. And we're gonna put this spoon in there. That's gonna be my extra to add to, if I need to, if I go a little heavy-handed with something. So I've got about, I'd say probably 2 heaping spoonfuls of dry joint compound, and I'm gonna make a little well in the middle here, just like that. Make it easier to mix in. And what I'm going to do is, I don't know about you guys, but I have like a bunch of these little tubey bottles that have just like a splooge of paint in them, and not like a lot. So I was thinking of using this up, and actually I was going to get some water ready and I forgot about that part. And well, we'll just have to take it out of the bottle. I told you it's been a day. So I'm going to take a little bit of that, put that in there. So I was thinking just to take a little bit of this paint, because I literally have just like a spooge left in here. And then I think, come on, baby. There we go. Okay. I got a bunch of craft sticks, popsicle sticks, whatever you want to call them. So I think if I squeeze out all the air out of here, like this, and then put it in the water, it'll suck up some of that water. That's the theory anyway. Well, it's sucking up it all. Cool beans. So, I got a little bit of black in there, that's alright. So I'm going to put this in there and I'm going to shake it up. So this way you don't waste any of, because these tubes have a, I mean, it's not a lot of paint, but you throw away 10 or 12 of them and they each have a teaspoon, you know, a quarter teaspoon in it. You know, I don't know. I'm really frugal. I'm not cheap. I don't buy generic macaroni and cheese. So let's see what this does. Put that in there just like that. And I'm going to have to mark that somehow so I know that's water and not paint. Okay, so this is Artist Loft. I'm trying to get it. There we go. Artist Loft Metallic Black. And this is just the academic level. And I'm just going to stir this in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir all these up, get these all mixed up, and then we're going to let them sit for 24 hours just so everything can get hydrated. And So there's a few lumps in there, but this is what it looks like so far. So that's a nice color. I like that color. I don't know if the metallic is gonna really show because there's, you know, not enough parts per million kind of thing. So we're gonna give it a good stir. See, this is the part I'd normally FF through. For all you people that don't know what FF is, it's fast forward. So I'm going to stir that up, and it's a little bit thin, so I'm going to put just a little bit more of this powder in there. And I want it kind of the consistency of toothpaste. So, like soft serve ice cream. I'm trying to think of other things that would be like. So, like when you pull up on it, it keeps a stiff peak. Ah, there you go, egg whites. Stiff peak egg whites. And that way, if it's too thick, I'd rather have it too thick, because I can always add a little bit of water. You know, this water here. I can always add a little bit of that to it. Alright, that looks good to me. And you're probably wondering why I'm even wanting to tint this. But there's a project that I'm in the middle of that I've been recording up until my laptop decided it didn't want to cooperate anymore. On an artboard that I've been doing, and it was inspired by the Victoria media cabinet that I posted on a video a few days ago, because I did the colored compound on the raised stencil, and then I did layers of color on top of it, and then I did gold, and then I did it's kind of a violet, it's almost like an indigo color, but more purple than blue. And then I did a whitewash type thing over the top of it, and then I distressed it all back, and the colors that pop through is just cool as heck. So I have a couple of artboards that I've been working on, and I have to actually start over on them because the video doesn't have, it has audio, but the video is awful. It's like sad awful. Okay, so that's that one. We're gonna take a piece of this press and seal and cover that one up. So I'm just going to set that on top of there so it can dry. And if you don't know what press and seal is, I get this at Costco, and this stuff, this is the value size, but you can get it at any grocery store, Walmart, Target, every place. But I use so much of it that I thought it was more value to buy it in a semi-bulk state. But this stuff is like my favorite thing to use in my studio. I use it for everything. I use it to line my pans, so that way, like my trays that I use for painting, that way I don't have to throw them out. I can reuse them, and I can recycle that as plastic. So I thought I'd grab my big bucket of water. Okay, so now we're gonna do, let's mix this in. Now, I've got a little bit of this metallic bronze. Now we're just going to do a little bit of this bronze. And we're going to try and get most of the paint out of here. There we go. Now that's probably enough for one small pour, but I'm one of those people where I mix up, when I do my acrylic pours, I mix up a cubic ton of paint, and I have it ready. Now this is what I call my glue mix. I do the same thing with glue, like my glue bottles. This is a combination of Elmer's school glue, what's that called, tacky glue. There's even some Mod Podge in here that's mixed with water. So it's just kind of like the bottom of the glue bottle. I don't want to throw that out, so I just shake it up and mix it with water, and then I use this. So this is a little bit of glue, so we're going to try and see how that does. If that changes the composition, if it makes it more resistant to paints, because there's an idea here, and I will share that with you as I go along here. But I have an idea to do some acrylic pours over some of these paints, or some of these or like a raised stencil. But I have these rollers from Artistic Painting Studio, Jen over at Artistic Painting Studio, and they're amazing rollers. I love these rollers, and they give really cool texture. And so I'm gonna try and do one that's kind of looks like a hammered metal finish, and that's why I was kind of going for this bronze one, but he's not being very cooperative. He's kind of looking like mud at this point. So, but it's kind of a cool mud. I don't know. But that way, I'm going to texture the board that I'm going to pour on. And then, come on, no boogers hanging out. There we go. And then do an acrylic pour over the top of it. Okay, that's a better color. It's kind of a muted brown. It's kind of a, I don't know, kind of a brown color. But I found that these colors dry differently than what they look like in the pot. So once I get my consistency here, which is pretty much what I'm going for, we're going to let this sit for a minute, or overnight a minute, which is kind of a minute. In the scheme of the universe, overnight is less than a minute, like a millisecond. So that's that color. It's kind of a grayish brown, so we'll see how that looks. I'm scraping this down as best I can, because I found that sometimes the little bits that you have sitting on the side will dry out, and then they get mixed into your compound, and then you've got little bits in your compound, and no one wants little bits. Little bits, I mean, unless it's little bits of chocolate, you know, and there's lots of little bits. We don't want to talk about it. Okay. Maybe it's just part of me, the baker in me. I'm always scraping bowls. Okay, so sticky side down. Okay, so there's that one. So we've got the metallic black, we've got the metallic bronze. Move those out of my way. And then I'm going to take this again. Good thing I had that water in there. I thought I brought my big gallon of water in here, but I don't see it. It probably is behind me and I can't see it right now. Okay, so this is metallic purple, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this metallic blue, the metallic cobalt blue, the metallic purple, and this little bit of extreme sheen here, and I'm going to put them all in one and see what happens when you mix. Granted, it's metallics, but you know what happens when you mix a bunch of metallics, and see if it gives me a result that I actually want. So these are kind of, or if it's gonna, I'm kind of on the notion that hopefully it'll look like one of those funfetti cakes. It's kind of, I don't know if the colors will stay separated or if they'll mix together and make me, make a single color. I'm not really sure what's gonna happen, and that's why we're experimenting. So, okay, I'm gonna squish out the air here. Perfect. Okay. I'm gonna let it open up. And I'm keeping it under the surface of the water as I'm letting it open up. Okay. There we go. So we got some water in there. Let's shake this one up. Okay, we'll let that sit there for a minute. And then, I don't know how much is left of this. This is that tourmaline. Unless it's French, and then I have no clue how to pronounce it. Whoop-de-doo. There we go. That's a lot. That's okay. That's what we're here for. Make mistakes. Learn from them. Okay, and we're going to squishy this one down. Alright, we're going to do this one. Oh, you know what I did? I forgot to take the lid off. Can't put the whole, this thing doesn't fit in there. Oh, you know what I was going to do? I was going to put more water in there. Oh well, that's okay. I'll just tip it on its side. One less thing for me to spill. And now I've put probably, I'll put that in there. I've put probably about, I don't know, probably a good tablespoon to 2 tablespoons worth of water in each one of these. Alright, we're going to shake that guy up. Okay, so we didn't add water to these, but we did to these. So we're going to put that over there. So I remember, hopefully. Alright, grab another mixie stick. I'm going to mix what we got so far. That way I know what color this is going to turn. And it looks like it's turning this really kind of cool purple. Purple. It's purple. Okay, so it's actually kind of an indigo color. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of turning an indigo color. So I'm going to add a little bit more purple in it. And I might not actually use that blue. I might save that for next time. Okay, whoa. There we go. Okay. This is why I don't do arting at my... Oh, see? Oh boy, I just got paint on the side of my computer. That's okay. It's probably the only thing in this house that doesn't have paint on it. Ooh, this is really pretty actually. See, sometimes, and I'm a huge Bob Ross fan, and you know, there's no mistakes in art, just happy accidents. And I'm a firm believer in that, and for life in general, because you know, every mistake you make is a learning experience. It's not really a mistake. It's not a, you didn't fail. You just gave yourself, you opened yourself up to learning. So. Alright, and I kind of like doing this, even, you know, doing this on video like this, because this keeps me from having to take notes, because I'm a copious note taker. You know what, let's put a little bit more of this pink in there, just a little bit. There. I normally don't like pink, but it's going to turn it more purple than blue, because I wasn't going for blue. I was actually going for, you know, like funfetti or something, you know, thinking that the molecules would stay separate. But, or the Mika. No, Mika's a dude. The mica would stay separate, but it kind of looks like it kind of is, and there is some metallic to it. So keep on stirring. I got some chunks in there. When we come back tomorrow, I'm going to show you a little trick that I learned in culinary school. Because this reminds me of royal icing, is what it really reminds me of. And I'm going to put a little bit of this in here, because it's kind of soupy. But this really reminds me of mixing royal icing and trying to get the right consistency for royal icing, for piping, for flooding. That's one of the things that I've been working on, is putting together a new intro video for the channel. And one of the things that I came across when I was going through all my photos and stuff is some of the cookies that I made for Valentine's Day a few years ago. Well, probably closer to 4 or 5 years ago now. But they look so cool, and I miss doing that. So, I mean, you almost didn't want to eat them because they're pretty. But I like edible art because, you know what, I like to eat. Alright, so we still got a few lumps in there, but I'm going to let it go because, one, my hand is cramping. My shoulder, I hurt my shoulder at work today, so it's kind of hard to even hang on to this right now. I suppose I could set it down. So I've been keeping my elbow tucked into my chest kind of thing, so I'm not moving my shoulder. So it's been a day, but I've had really good news in the last few days, and so I'm just gonna go in with it, you know, not letting things derail me. All right, and then I'm gonna do one more, really super quick, because I want to see what happens. Okay, so that's kind of the light is really washing it out. It's not that gray. It's a very pretty kind of periwinkle purple. So get a little piece of press and seal. And I use press and seal because it's going to seal this whole edge, and the only air is going to be in there. If I was going to seal this up for like a long-term storage, I would actually put a piece of saran wrap on the top of that, so on the top underneath, and then put this on there. But since it's just going to be overnight, it won't dry out. I'm just going to put this over there. Yes, you were responsible for some of that good news. Some of it. All right. So this one, I'm just going to put this glue mix. And this is all, what is it called? There's a special name for it. It's like PVK glue or PKP or I don't know. It's basically all like Elmer's glue, decoupage or Mod Podge, tacky glue. They're all the same type of glues. So that's why I did this, is because they're all similar glues. So, and I've had this sitting upside down since I decided to go live, so it shouldn't need that much shaking. So we're just going to put this in there because I want to see what kind of surface it leaves, because I'm looking to do a resist of sorts. Oh. And I think this glue will act kind of as a resist. So, because I got some foam board that we're going to put this on. I'm going to grab a couple of my stencils and see what's going on with this. Okay, so this is flooding, like a thick flooding consistency. Maybe a little bit dry, a little bit more dry but this is just the plain. It's a little bit thin, so we want closer to a piping consistency. All right, I'm gonna have to get a piece of press and seal for that one too. Actually, I can just dump it back in my big, I have a big 5-gallon bucket of this because a big ass bag. This is what I got in there. And this is lightweight setting tape mixed with water. I don't know how many pounds this was. Oh, 18 pounds. 18 pounds. And I think I paid $6 for it. And I put it in a big 5-gallon bucket with a lid. And it'll probably last me a year, if not longer. So, I don't know. I like playing around with this. It's kind of one of those things where you can do a lot with it. And I'm wondering, I'm also going to try putting this in a mold, making a paste out of it and putting it in a mold, kind of like an air dry clay of sorts. So just kind of playing around with this because I like playing mad scientist, and I like taking things that are inexpensive and making them into art. And joint compound is, I mean, it's pretty stable. It's going to last a long time. I'm not sure about the how like acid stable, you know, how that is, but a lot of my artwork I'm going to be covering with a UV resin or UV resistant resin, so it'll have that on there. I don't know what it's called. I do know what it's called, I just can't recall it. I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning, and it is now 7:29 p.m. And there we go. That's the DQ dip. Can you see that? The little flippity-doo? And that's what we want. We want some, that's kind of the consistency we want. It might be even a little bit thicker than that. Let's do a little bit more. But I'm thinking the glue, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We're gonna trowel this out tomorrow, and then we'll let it dry. And I'm actually thinking that if I can get this piping consistency, maybe doing some fun stuff that way. I don't know. We'll play around. This is how my mad mind works, is I just sit down and start playing with things. And, you know, they say necessity is the mother of invention. And I think that art play is the father of invention. So I always say play around, see what happens. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? I've used, I mean, most of these paints, most people probably would have threw them away because there's no more paint in them. But the water, you know, is enough to tint this. All right, so let's scrape that off. Get the last piece of press and seal. We're going to set that down here, just like that. Okay, so we've got the glue mix. I'm going to move this out of the way before I spill it all over the place. So we got the glue mix. We've got this periwinkle purple. And this is the bronze, I think. Oh, this is the bronze. Yeah, this is the bronze. It's right there. And I'm going to put that back over. Actually, I'm going to put that over there so I don't mix it up, because that doesn't have water in it yet. And then this is the metallic black. So you can, actually, you can kind of see that's got some metallic in it. I don't know if it's showing up. I have such bad lighting in here. I got to work on my lighting in my office. I mean, it's great lighting for like weeding and doing little projects like that, but for filming, not so much. So there is a bit of metallic there. So I'm excited to see how this is going to work. All right, so tomorrow night, which is Saturday, I'll be going live at about 7 o'clock again. Probably 7 o'clock, because I need to still eat my supper and go to bed. And I don't want to go to bed on a full stomach because that's unhealthy. But if you found value in this video, please click that like button. Just smash it and smash it and smash it. Well, not too many smashes, because if you click it too many times, then it unlikes it. So just smash it once. That should be sufficient. And if you're new to the channel and like what you've seen here, please click that subscribe button and hit that little notification bell, and that'll let you know when we go live on our channel, which I kind of do a lot, because I like doing lives. And it'll also let you know when we upload new content. So thanks for joining me tonight. I appreciate you. Okay, sorry. I thought I had to sneeze because my nose got all itchy. I think it was the dust from the stuff, which is probably not good, but we're just going to roll with it. Y'all have a good night, day, afternoon, wherever and whenever you're watching this video. Peace, love, and happiness.